That moment? Oh, stop. All right, so we're getting into Before Sunset, Before Sunrise. It's one of the two. The second movie of the trilogy. I don't remember the time gap they gave each other. A year? But the premise is so romantic, so I'm excited. Before Sunset, there we go.
Do you consider the book to be autobiographical?
Isn't everything autobiographical?
Did he write about his encounter?
Anybody who sits down to write is going to use the clay of their own life. And so I thought if I could write a book that could capture what it's like to really meet somebody. You know, I mean, one of the most exciting things that's ever happened.
Aww, so he wrote a book about them.
The book ends on an ambiguous note. We don't know. Do you think they get back together?
Oh, it's really cute at the end of the book is the end of the movie.
It's a good test, right? If you're a romantic or a cynic. You think they get back together, and you hope they do, but you know, you're not sure.
What is your next book?
The idea is that his great dream was to be a lover, an adventurer, and instead he's sitting at a marble table eating lobster.
Yet another autobiography.
Getting what you want.
It's wild that 6 months could mean everything, right? Like it's either the blink of an eye or a lifetime.
He knows he's not remembering this dance. He's there.
Instant, all his life is just folding in on itself.
Holy shit, she's there?
Inside every moment is another moment, all happening simultaneously.
Well, our author has to be going to the airport soon. So
He says, I don't care, let's go. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Thank you.
we hope to see you here again with your next book.
How much longer before I have to go to the airport?
Oh, you should leave at 7:30.
Oh, another timeline. Last time they had a train to catch. This time he has a plane to catch. Next time it'll be an automobile.
Do you want to maybe get a cup of coffee?
Is this their first time seeing each other?
Well, get your driver Philippe's card. You can call his cell phone if you're running late.
I am intrigued. He seems a lot more taken than she does.
I live here in Paris.
Anyway, how are you? This is so weird.
It would be weird spending like one 6-hour time period with somebody and then meeting again after 6 months.
I mean, how'd you even know I was going to be here?
So I saw your picture on the calendar about a month ago. It's funny because I read an article on your book.
Did you have a chance to read it?
I was really, really surprised, as you can imagine.
Ooh, it'd be extra weird to read, the other person's account of what had happened, right? Because it's not both. The important thing is that there's two sides to this story, right? And so, his book is just his version of things. It'd be weird to read that, knowing that you were the other half and that maybe your thoughts don't quite mesh with the things that he writes.
I mean, thank God I didn't and you didn't. I mean, one of us had showed up there alone.
I always felt horrible about not being there, but I couldn't.
Oh, so they didn't meet up the way they were supposed to.
And of course, I had to go to the funeral with my parents. You weren't there anyway. Wait.
He went, did he?
No, you were there, weren't you? Have you been hating me all this time? You have.
No, come on, it's no big deal, all right? And my life's been a big nosedive since then, but I mean...
You must have been so angry with me. I'm so sorry. My grandmother, I mean...
No, I know. Mostly I was just mad. We hadn't exchanged any phone numbers.
Oh, that was the beauty of the thing, wasn't it?
We wanted to pick it up where we left off.
Which would have been fun if it had worked.
Look at them acting like this isn't their moment. Maybe it didn't happen at the 6-month time frame like they were supposed to do, but it's happening.
So things are going well for you, right? Your book is a bestseller in the US. I thought you idealized the night a bit.
Oh.
There were times where you made me her, right?
See, I told you she was gonna have some complaints about his take.
Think I'm neurotic?
No.
Maybe it's just me. Reading something knowing that the character in the story is based on you, it's flattering and disturbing at the same time.
How's it disturbing?
Because it's not her take. It's not the way that she saw things.
How long did it take you to write it?
3 or 4 years, on and off.
Oh, how long did it take him to write the movie, do you think? About that same time? Or has it been 3 or 4 years since the first one came out and this one gets released? Either way, I love that.
Tell me, what are you doing, What are you up to?
I work for Green Cross, environmental organization.
Yeah, what are they all about?
The environment.
International laws that deal with the environment. Last year I was in India for quite a while working on a water treatment plant.
It just sounds like you're actually doing something,
So I decided what I really wanted to do was to find things that could be fixed and try to fix them.
Good for her. I love her. She was the more romantic idealist, right?
The world is a mess right now. No, I'm not. From a Western point, 5 million people die every year from preventable water disease.
I love her.
There are a lot of serious problems in the world.
Even the very notion of conservation. Those weren't even in the vocabulary until fairly recently.
An imperialist country can use that kind of thinking to justify the economic greed.
Yep. I agree with everything she's saying. I love her.
The world might be evolving the way a person evolves.
So what are your problems?
Right now, I don't have any.
wish they had places like this in the U.S.
Yeah, I missed cafes when I was living over there.
Oh shit, she was living over there?
I was studying at NYU.
I've been living in New York since '98. You know, we were there at the same time.
Crossed my mind a few times that I might run into you, but the odds are so slim, right? So
They had their arranged meetup, which obviously she missed. They were both in New York, and she was kind of thinking, like, I wonder if fate would like bring us back together, but the odds are so slim. There's this kind of magic that they are together again, but it was premeditated. Like, she saw his face on the calendar, she showed up for him. It wasn't this like magic fate.
just mean Frenchmen, they drive me nuts. I've had really bad luck with them or something.
Why? What do you mean?
I guess they're not as
What?
what's the word? Horny? They're not as horny.
All right, now, well, wait.
Do I look any different?
I'd have to see you naked.
Oh my god.
Well, it's the same. Oh,
Take
okay.
it down. Let's see.
Well, voila.
Skinnier, I think. A little thinner.
Did you think I was fat before? Yeah, you wrote a book about a fat French girl.
No, listen. Seriously, all right? You look beautiful. Do I look any different?
No. Oh, well, actually, you have this line.
It's just a scar from age, thank you.
I was having this awful nightmare that I was 32. Then I woke up and I was 23. So relieved. And then I woke up for real.
I like getting older. I don't know, it feels more immediate. You know, like I can appreciate things more.
I think I agree with him on that. There's something thrilling about the idea only because I could take the knowledge that I have now and not make the 1,000,001 fuck ups that I made. But would I really want to go back to that? No. No.
The true work of improving things is in the little achievements of the day. The people that are the most giving, hardworking, usually don't have the ego and ambition to be a leader. They don't see any interest in superficial rewards. They're in the moment.
Yeah, but that's so hard. I just feel like I'm designed to be slightly dissatisfied with everything.
This is what I was saying. Like, she's very like romantic ideal of the world while he's very cynical. I love the pairing because then you get to see worldviews from very different angles.
Isn't that a symptom of depression? Yeah, that is, right?
I don't know. I mean, it's what all those Buddhist guys say, right? You know, liberate yourself from desire and you'll find that you already have everything you need.
I like that we have those ever-renewing desires.
Yeah, well, maybe it's just a sense of entitlement. I mean, it's okay to want things as long as you don't get pissed off if you don't get them.
As much as he like might enjoy the theory of not desiring or being greedy, it's like he is though, right?
Does it help your sex problems?
I mean, we didn't have any problems.
Oh, I'm kidding. We didn't even have sex anyway.
What? What?
We didn't. You didn't have a condom, and I never have sex with that one, especially on a one-night thing.
Finding this very scary that you don't remember what happened.
Oh shit, here we go.
Okay, you know what? When I get home, I'll check my journal from '94, but I know I'm right.
Well, that's like kind of a big deal if one of them remembers having slept together and one of them is convinced that they did not. Which is funny because I'm pretty sure there's no, in the first movie, that just kind of like fades to this night sky, right? And they wake up in the park. So there's no tell, like we don't know the truth. I just assumed that they had for sure.
I think you're right, okay? Sometimes I put things in drawers inside my head and forget about it.
Wait, so they did?
That night was like a sad memory for you?
Certain things are better off forgotten.
I remember that night better than I do entire years.
That's very sweet.
Maybe I put it away because my grandmother's funeral was the day we were supposed to meet again.
Yeah.
I remember looking at her dead body in the coffin. Nothing in that coffin resembled what I remembered of her.
I don't remember the exact implications or dialogue. Didn't they have like a kind of romantic conversation about death in the graveyard in the first one? This is like the grim concept of death.
I mean, I guess the memory's never finished.
But sometimes I worry that I'll get to the end of my life feeling I haven't done all I wanted to do.
Not the story of like the explanation he had of his potential next book, but it's also not like a new concept, right? The fear of what if I don't do everything that I'm supposed to do, or what if I get old and I regret not doing certain things, or like settling. Like what if you settle and at some point it just hits you that it's not the life that you want at all. Ooh, now I feel sad.
I've always felt there was some kind of mystical core to the universe. More recently, I've started to think that I don't have any permanent place here. You know, every day is our last.
We were both going to die.
Today was our last day.
Yeah, what would we talk about? What would you tell me?
That is a really hard question. What would you do?
We'd stop talking about my book. I would probably drop the environment. But I would still want to talk about, you know, the magic in the universe. I just want to do it from a hotel room, you know?
Here's that like horny factor that you were missing out so much from The Frenchman. Not to bring it back to Ray Bradbury, which I've apparently liked to do. He has a short story about everyone wakes up from having had this dream of the world ending. At the end of this next day, the world's going to end, but everybody has the exact same dream. So they all know that the world is about to end. Like it just becomes common knowledge. And like while most stories will take that and take it into like an apocalyptic route, this short story just life continues. People go to work, they come home, they have dinner, they watch their television shows. Like they're like at peace with it, because what's the point? I don't know. It sends me into a spiral of thought, but it's a very beautiful story.
What kind of songs do you write?
Like some are about, people. No, okay,
One.
not now. No.
Well, you want to meet here in 6 months with a guitar?
We've got to get going back to the bookstore.
God, I hate the concept that they've met again and yet he's still, there's still a deadline, right?
I want to have kids someday, I'm just not ready yet. Yeah, I'm in a good relationship though.
Oh yeah, that's good.
He's a photojournalist.
I mean, I'm happy for her because it doesn't make sense for either one of them to not be in a relationship, but like, talk about the fear of settling. Like, what if this is your magic person? You'll have regret about forever. But also, maybe your magic person doesn't have to be forever. I don't know.
Let's get on that boat. Come on.
You don't have time. We've got to go.
Yes, be sporadic and spontaneous.
I've never been on those boats. It's for tourists. C'est bon, on peut rentrer? Oui, oui.
It's for tourists. It's embarrassing. Who cares? I just had this thought of like, he's like this prolific best-selling author at this point. He could easily extend his stay in Paris. No harm, no foul. But it ruins the magic of all of these moments.
I heard the story once about when the Germans were occupying Paris and they had to retreat back. They wired Notre Dame to blow. They had to leave one guy in charge of hitting the switch. He couldn't do it. Sacré-Cœur, Eiffel Tower.
Is that true?
Is that true?
I always liked the story though.
It is a beautiful story.
That's a great story. Yeah, this is great. I've never done this.
That's not so bad being a tourist. Huh?
I always feel like a freak because I'm never able to move on. Like, I was never able to forget anyone I've been with. You can never replace anyone.
She's so romantic and wonderful. She really is.
That's why I'm very careful with getting involved because
There's something very sad about some of the shit that she says, but it's also like she puts a coating of like beauty on everything.
like I'm obsessed with little things. Chestnuts falling from the trees, way a leaf casts a shadow on a tree trunk.
I feel like him, just falling in love.
Like I remember the way beard has a bit of red in it.
You want to know why I wrote that stupid book? That you might come to a reading in Paris and I could walk up to you and ask, where the fuck were you? I wrote it in a way to try to find you.
Oh, well, that's incredibly romantic. Shut up.
What do you think the chances were of us ever meeting again?
To that December, I'd say almost zero.
I don't know. I think you could argue either side. Like it was planned, it was premeditated, or it's magic.
We'd have hated each other eventually.
Oh, what? Like we hate each other now?
We're only good at brief encounters, walking around in European cities. I guess when you're young, you just believe there'll be many people with whom you connect with. Later in life, you realize it only happens a few times.
Oh, stop. That'll break my heart.
I mean, what if your grandmother had lived a week longer? Things might have been different. I believe that. In the months leading up to my wedding, okay, I was thinking about you.
Oh shit, he's married. How the fuck I last this long and not realize that?
13th and Broadway. And I thought I was going crazy, but now I think it probably was you.
I lived on 11th and Broadway.
Oh my god, stop.
What is it like to be married? You haven't talked much about that.
I don't know. We met, when I was in college.
Oh god, now he's his version of the story that he was talking about.
She was pregnant, so marriage.
I can't help but notice that there's no romance in that.
So many of the men that I admired most were dedicated to something greater than themselves.
So you got married because the men you admired were married?
It's more like I had this idea of my best self.
Even if it might have been overriding my honest self. Nobody's gonna be everything to you. It's just a simple action of committing yourself.
I don't agree with that. I don't think I agree with that at all.
I feel like I'm running a small nursery with somebody I used to date.
People that phrase relationships or marriage as work, a begrudging, this is so hard and miserable work, then you're not with your person. It takes work in the way that it takes effort, but it's not hard work. It's work that you want to do. It's work of improvement and fulfillment. To talk about it in any other light, you are not with the right person. And it's sad because I think that's a reality for many people, and we've all been there for sure.
I don't need a man to feed me, but I still need a man to love me and then I could love,
So, the drive is here.
Is it over already for real?
Why don't we just give you a ride home wherever you're going? They've got me riding 2 hours earlier. This way we can keep talking. No, but this is better than the metro, right?
Definitely.
Oh, I'm sad that it's gonna come to an end. This shit goes so fast and it's so strange because it's just two people talking.
Is that why you're in a relationship with somebody who's never around?
This exciting time together and then he leaves and I miss him, but at least I'm not dying inside.
When someone is always around me, I'm suffocating.
She's also with someone that she shouldn't be with then. I understand the need for alone time and independence and things like that. But again, when you find the right person, you're not suffocated and you're going to figure out the system that works for you. And this concept of I'm with him because he's not around, then maybe you shouldn't be with him. If you're happier because he's not around,
It's not even that. I was fine until I read your fucking book. It reminded me how genuinely romantic I was. Now it's like, I don't believe in anything that relates to love. I don't feel things for people anymore.
Oh.
Somehow this night took things away from me and
Stop.
took them with you. It made me feel cold. Reality and love are almost contradictory for me. I've got to get away from you. Stop the car.
What?
Don't get
it's
out.
being
Keep
around
talking.
you, okay?
Hey,
No,
hey.
don't touch.
Oh shit.
No, listen, I'm just so happy. Thank you. Just keep going.
Please don't end on a sour note.
I'm so glad you didn't forget about me, okay?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, that's part of the problem.
Come here to Paris, all romantic and married. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to get you or anything, but that moment in time that is forever gone.
You didn't even remember having sex.
Of course I remembered.
Oh.
Women pretend things like that. I don't know.
Did she come into this hoping that
We had
he,
sex twice,
maybe
you
there was a chance? Because that's heartbreaking. To have that, that concept of love so shut off from herself since their last interaction, and then she went to go see him in the hopes that door would be opened again, and then he's married? Oh.
I'm dying inside because I'm so numb. I don't feel pain or excitement.
I think you're the one dying inside. My life is 24/7 bad.
Okay, well, divorce your poor wife then. My God.
You know, I want a great life. I want her to have a great life, but we're just living in the pretense of a marriage.
Well, at least he understands the concept, and at least he wants that for her.
I have these dreams. I'm standing on a platform. You keep going by on a train. And I wake up with the fucking sweats. Something wrong, you know, that I can't keep.
Oh, that moment. Oh, stop.
I might have given up on the whole idea of romantic love that day when you weren't there.
Oh, I hate this. I hate this. I hate that they're both so tied to that moment that they had together, but they're both deeply unhappy in very different ways, but it's so sad.
I'm sure you may be a great mom someday.
So,
Oh yeah, a few antidepressants.
I never thought I'd be so obsessed with a movie that's just two people talking.
I want to see if you stay together or if you dissolve into molecule.
How am I doing?
Still here.
Y'all, this isn't gonna make things easier.
I'm gonna walk her to her door. This is incredible. This is where you live?
Oh, damn. It is a beautiful little spot.
We're having a little party. It's so much fun.
Salut!
Salut.
Qu'est-ce qu'il a, mon short?
I want to hang out with them. Fuck the flight home. Hang out there.
Would you play me one of your songs? I'm gonna be sitting in the airport for over an hour reading the newspaper.
One song?
Yeah.
Okay, but quickly. Yeah.
Ooh, do you think they're gonna hook up? God, I feel like they both know in this moment that they are going to hook up. Oh, this shot's killing me. I love it. I love everything about it. It's very reminiscent of the photo booth at the record store.
What song are you gonna play me, huh?
I can't. It's too embarrassing.
Came all the way up here, you cannot crap out of me.
What do you want to hear? One's about my cat. There's one about just a little waltz.
Play the waltz.
The pressure. I would simply crumble and crack and break and cry.
Let me sing you.
Oh, I was already in love with this bitch, but now.
You were for me that night, but now you're gone.
A waltz, not about him at all.
I know what you meant for me.
It's so French and beautiful and delightful.
My heart will stay yours until I die.
It's gonna make me cry. It's gonna make me cry. Stop. Earlier I said maybe you don't have to end up with that one magic person. You do. In this scenario, you do. Maybe the logistics of everything don't make sense. Maybe he's married and has a kid. What? I don't care. Please be together.
Oh, is this you? Little crossheads? Is that your grandmother?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Grandma looks cool as hell. It's turning on the sex music.
You ever seen Nina Simone in concert?
No, I never did.
I saw her twice in concert. That's one of my favorite songs of hers. She would be right in the middle of a song and walk from the piano all the way to the edge of the stage. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. And then she'd walk back, start another song in the middle of another, Oh, you are gonna miss that plane.
I know.
Has he just known this whole time? I love that. I'm kind of like stunned. I'm sorry, that's a beautiful ending. For them to just kind of fade everything about this movie, or both of these movies really, but it's this like moment of time captured. And the idea that it fades out, their lives are still continuing past the darkness, right? Like past the credits, but that's the reality of life. Like it doesn't stop, and it's not this captured moment. Like the first movie is a very captured experience between two people who hit that time limit with each other and have to separate. And this is so similar of a snippet of them having a piece of life together and sharing an experience together. However, it is different in that it continues, and it like mimics the importance of what happened after the first movie. Like neither one of them were able to forget their experiences together. So to show it continuing, like yes, the camera stopped rolling, but their lives continued on, because things don't just stop. Life doesn't just stop, and you can't contain an experience without it bleeding into forever. That's so beautiful.